Keep this frequency clear.
Don't touch that dial.
Are we on the air?
Yes, you are.
With all the modern pace of today's exciting radio.
Now, the struggle between good and evil goes on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my underground lair.
Do not attempt to adjust your dial. I'm transmitting live with the hardcore style.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
Shawna and LaLa.
For your further listening pleasure,
Time to lay down some serious sound.
Watch your bass bins, I'm telling you.
don't touch that dial.
What's up? You're listening to Shawna and LaLa. Check us out at shawnaandlala.com. On Facebook at facebook.com/Shawna and LaLa.
And you can check me out at facebook.com/TheLalaMarie.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Shawna and LaLa and on our YouTube channel, Shawna and LaLa. We have been super busy. As you know, we've been pretty much MIA for the past 3 weeks because our studio did not break, but we have just been super busy.
Yeah, we had some personal injuries. My little son cracked his face open.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe it.
I know. You guys are probably like, what's new? I mean, every week it's something. Every single time we come on here, we're like, well, sorry, we've been in MIA. But hopefully it's not going to be that way next month.
I know. And how did he crack his eye open?
He was jumping in his room, like kids do. He was trying to catch a toy. He was throwing it in the air, jumping, throwing it in the air, jumping. Multiple times I told him, stop jumping. I was cooking dinner, so I wasn't like watching him, but I was yelling down the hall, like, stop jumping. And he even said, how do you know I'm jumping, Mom? How can you see me? You know, and I did, oh yeah, I have eyes in the back of my head type thing. And he, then I heard the last jump, a bang, and the screams. So, of course, you know, when you hear those pain screams, you know as a mother or a father that something's wrong, and it's not just a little boo-boo, it must be big. So.
Oh man, you had blood everywhere.
Blood everywhere. That was the worst. I opened the door, and my son's face down on the floor, and I'm like, Gio? And he looks up at me screaming, and blood is like squirting like across the room out of his face.
Oh my god.
Because your face is very vascular, so it's going to bleed heavily, even if it's just a tiny little cut. But this was a deep cut, so it was like squirting out. I couldn't see his eye. His eye was covered in blood. I'm like, he lost his eye. He lost his eye. So I picked him up, and I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off. I ran in the bathroom like, no, I gotta get ice pack. I ran in the kitchen. I'm holding him. He's bleeding all over me. So long story short, the cops came. They bandaged him up. We took him to the ER, and he had to get stitches. So they sewed him up, and he's doing really great. His bruising is almost gone. He had a big black eye.
He did. It was pretty.
Yeah, he looked like he was a boxer.
Yeah, it looked like somebody beat the crap out of him.
Yeah. And so he went to school like that. He had a million questions. I took him out to the mall, not even thinking about what his eye looked like. And I was getting all these stares. And I'm like, why are people staring at me? You know, why? And he's like, Mom, people are staring at me. Then I realized, like, oh, they probably think I beat the kid, you know? But he's doing great. And hopefully he's learned his lesson not to jump around sharp objects, because what he hit his eye on was the corner of his bed. And it's a very sharp wooden corner, so it wasn't fun.
That happened to me years ago. I was chasing my cousin around in my mom's apartment, and I slipped over a hula hoop.
Oh.
And I had this old wooden desk from, like, I don't know, the 30s or 40s probably. You know, like the kind that we had in school, that the chair was hooked to the desk?
Yeah.
Well, that's the kind it was. And bam, I fell, and I still have the scar.
Oof.
And where I cut it open to the bone.
That's disgusting.
And my mom said all she saw was blood and bone. And she was so mad at me that I was running because she said, stop. And
That's
I didn't.
What we do.
And yeah, I had to get stitches. And I still have the scar. So
yeah, he'll probably have a little scar. But luckily, no head injury. You know, he had a slight concussion, but we are very grateful that it was nothing worse than that. And his eye is still intact.
His eyeball is still
It's still there. It's fine. But yeah, so that took like a week out of me. But between the stress and taking care of him, I was just a mess. So we are back though. We are refreshed. We saw our dear friend Evan, Dr. Evan.
We did. We saw him this week.
Yeah, this week, right?
And I cannot believe how amazing I slept.
Me too. Me freaking too.
I slept so good. I was out like a light. I mean, I had a really busy day yesterday, besides the fact that we went to acupuncture. I had a really busy day afterwards. I had to go see my cousin, who was in the hospital. They don't know what's wrong with her. But she like can't breathe. She's on a breathing tube and all sorts of stuff. So we went to visit her. And then I was like falling asleep on the car ride home. I was just so tired. You know, acupuncture, he must have given us the
he did. The ambient spot he does. I love it.
He must have like doubled it or something because I slept like a baby.
Yes.
Which I don't even understand that saying because babies don't sleep well.
They don't.
But
you slept like an old man, maybe.
Yes.
They seem to sleep through everything. But I love going to see him the day of or the night of that I get acupuncture. I sleep so good, and it's just the deepest sleep. It's almost as if you drugged me with like 10 sleeping pills.
Yeah.
I wake up feeling so good, so refreshed. We love Evan. We love everyone at Kinetic Rehab and Spine. So
they're amazing, and we can't say enough good things about them.
I put up a post yesterday on my Instagram showing me getting acupuncture, and I was like, guys, this really works because, to be honest, I've said before, I was never a believer in acupuncture. I just didn't understand how a needle could change anything. Now I'm 100% a true believer in it. So I put that up there, and the amount of people that messaged me yesterday was like, really? You know, can you give me information? Why are you going? Where is this place? And people are intrigued. I think that it needs to get out there more. Acupuncture is legit. Acupuncture works. I see it myself. Shawna sees it herself. There's been major changes in both of us that you will continuously see as we post our reviews and our videos and talk about this. But
yeah, and it does not hurt.
It doesn't hurt. And it's natural. You're not putting chemicals in your body. I was on medication most of my life, and the side effects from the medication were almost worse than the disease that I had. This is natural, and I think that everyone needs to go to an acupuncturist if you're having any issues, pain, headaches, insomnia like me, fertility issues like me. Shawna has migraines.
I get migraines so bad.
Neck pains. Everything you can think of that you'd go to a regular doctor for, you can go to an acupuncturist. Yeah. And Dr. Evan and anyone at Kinetic Rehab and Spine, they are amazing.
They like just even if you feel like you're coming down with a cold,
yeah,
you call him and you come in for a treatment or two. And he said that he's had people like that didn't even get sick.
Yeah, or they cut the flu down.
It's insane.
They can do pretty much everything. And we recommend Kinetic Rehab and Spine so much because when you have a connection with the doctor and the people who work there and you feel comfortable there, I always believe that that's going to help your recovery or your healing 100 times better than if you're going into a office that you don't feel comfortable. It doesn't feel all warm and fuzzy, when you're talking to the doctor or the staff.
This feels like you're going to a spa.
It feels like a spa / friend's house. That's how it's professional, yet you feel comfortable. Like you could just be yourself and relax. And that's the most important part of healing. Mm-hmm. So we can't say enough good things, like Shawna said, and we will continue to shout their name from the mountains because they're so amazing.
They really, truly are. And, I can't wait for next week, our appointment, because I need to sleep good again like I did last night.
Yes.
And it takes more than one session, I will say that.
Yeah.
And he does tell you that. He says, just like anything, you're not going to be fixed in one session.
Yep.
Although, I don't know, was. Because I had a brain tumor. And, well, nobody really knew that, but I was diagnosed with a brain tumor a few months ago, and in between I went for the MRI first. That's how they saw it. I went for the acupuncture, went to the tumor surgeon, and the surgeon said, let's do another MRI to make sure, where it is and
hasn't changed
in size, and get you set up for surgery and everything. So I said, okay. I go for the MRI. They can't find the tumor.
It changed, all right. It disappeared.
It totally disappeared. So when I went back in for acupuncture, I was telling him, I said, he's like, oh, how did your appointment go? Did you schedule surgery? And I said, they can't find the tumor. And he was like, what? Did you see Evan's face?
Yeah.
He was like...
He had chills. He had chills.
He literally called everybody in and he was like, tell them what you just told me. And I personally swear it was from acupuncture.
Oh, I 100%. That's the only thing that she did differently. She didn't go on medication. It was like, what? You got the acupuncture?
I got the acupuncture, went for the MRI that same week, and it was gone.
Gone.
Completely gone. They couldn't find it. They were like, and my blood work was normal when it was like 4 times as high.
Mm-hmm.
It was back to normal. So they
all
said
her hormone levels were good.
The doctor said, whatever you're doing, continue to do it because it's working. And I said, it was acupuncture. And, they said that they don't have proof of that, medical proof. I said, well, I am medical proof.
This is proof
This
right
is
here.
Proof right here.
Look at my MRI the week before acupuncture and look at it a week after acupuncture.
Days after.
Or days after acupuncture, gone. So that's the only thing she did different. So
that's the only thing. I didn't change my diet. You all know that I am a horrible eater.
She eats like crap.
I eat a lot of sugar. I love my cookies.
Yeah.
I actually have a thing of Oreos here in the studio.
This child needs she needs a nutrition coach in here yelling her every time she puts a cookie in her mouth.
I love my iced tea. I love my soda. I love my Gatorade. So I cut the soda out a little bit.
Yeah.
But that was really all I did. So I don't know. I mean, acupuncture is working for both of us. It could work for you too. Call Evan at
Get a consultation with him. Yeah.
Yeah, free consultation. I'm telling you, it'll work. But enough about my brain tumor and that isn't here anymore.
It's not there.
But we have a great show for you coming up. We are going to hear from Mr. Julien Farel, the celebrity hairstylist. We cannot wait to go see him.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
He's worked on
Ivanka Trump, Barbara Streisand. Oh my God. There's so many.
Olivia Palermo from The Hills.
Yeah.
He's done her hair. I can't wait to meet him. He was super nice. And then we're also going to hear from Cloe Wilder. She's an upcoming artist and she is so sweet. On the phone right now, we have Julien Farel, celebrity hairstylist and hair care innovator.
How are you? Nice to see you and nice to meet you all.
Oh, good. So we are really excited to come down to your studio in March and have you do our hair. But we wanted to know, how did you get started in the hairstyling business?
It's a long and it's a short story. I was in school to become a professional soccer player, and when my parents divorced, I realized I didn't want to. I wasn't serious enough to go to my soccer school, and I get kicked out from the national team.
Oh wow!
And then I had to do something, and I was only in 8th grade, so I went in the hair business because I wanted to have something who could be a little bit more creative. I was not having any desire to go in any kind of accounting or became a doctor or something like that. So I started hair just like that in my grandmother's kitchen. And very quickly I understood that we were using products who was quite aggressive for the hair.
Mm-hmm.
And understood like the hair problem was actually starting from the scalp. So anyway, I'm gonna go a little bit further. So I got recruited by a very big French company who actually taught me how to really cut hair. And then in 1992, after doing Lyon and then Paris, they sent me to New York to open their hair school in New York. And I arrived at 22 years old, knowing nobody, speaking no English, and speaking on the floor in Brooklyn with no money. And I was doing the school on the Sunday and Monday, and during the week I was a hairdresser, and I was building up my clientele. I was working all the time. Mm-hmm. Anyway, and then I got recruited 2 years later by Fekai, and I went to do his training and education in New York and LA. And in 2001, I went on my own because I had arrived to a point where I hated my job. I was doing 37 clients a day, and I was pressed like a lemon, and I didn't enjoy it because I felt like it was more like a quantity versus quality. So I went on my own, and my first article in WWD was, as it was right after September 11 in 2001, is Madison need another very expensive hairdresser. And all my collaborators told me, we have to change that and we have to change the price. And I said, no, we are not. We're going to hire the quality and we're going to stick with the price. And that became basically our story. So very quickly we went from 1 floor to 2 floor to 3 floor to 4 floor. And then in 2007, we became partner with the U.S. Open tennis, and since that we're doing the hair of all the tennis players during the tournament in August and September. Then we start to do more and more fashion shows from Ralph Lauren to Louis Vuitton to many other big designers. And as we grew our years with the U.S. Open, we decided to kind of let go a little bit. The Fashion Week was at the same time, and it was a lot of work. And in 2009, we opened a salon in Mexico. In 2010, we opened a second location on Fifth Avenue in New York. In 2011, we launched a line of products, ageless. And then in 12, we pick up the tennis in Miami. In 13, we open Miami, a salon in Miami. And in 14, we change our flagship from Madison Avenue to Park Avenue to open 10,000 square feet at the Regency Hotel, Lowe's Regency Hotel on Park Avenue, 61st and Park. And now we have 120 employees. We see 91,000 people a year. We operate 7 days a week.
Oh, wow.
And it became a really big deal. But in the meantime, we had opened these products. And when the time has come for me to put my name on the barrel, I've been recruited by different big laboratories who came and approached me with a beautiful story, showing me a wonderful packaging and asking me if I was interested to do that for them, and I said absolutely. So they show me their marketing piece, and they make me you choose the packaging and the smell and all this. And I said, my question was always the same: what is inside? And they all had the same answer, to say, do not worry about it. We have 80 people around the country who's going to make you rich, and you will collect a check every month. And my answer was, but everybody's selling the same formula.
Yeah.
And I said, I refuse to sell another soap in a barrel with a beautiful fragrance, but it doesn't fix the problem. People still have major hair problem. So I went backwards, and in 2006 I met with different doctor and chemist in Italy, and we have done 5 years of research to create Restore. What is Julien Farel Restore? Julien Farel Restore is a non-foaming shampoo. It's as simple as the shampoo. It's a shampoo treatment. It's one process only. And what he does, he has no bubble, no silicone, no sulfate, no paraben. He cleans gently your hair. He penetrates inside your scalp to actually hydrate and boost your hair follicle and it keeps your hair alive. So today, in 2020, I have more hair than I had in 2009 when I was testing the products.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, my hair, I was going to sleep, my hair was on a pillow. And my wife, in a pillow, in a shower, in a drain. And now I go to sleep, I wake up, I don't have any hair in a shower, in a pillow, and anything. What is it? It's just a shampoo. The only difference is it doesn't have any bubble. So it does clean your hair, it does hydrate your hair, your scalp, and your hair follicle. Because the shampoo today has been invented in 1927 by a German guy in Berlin called Hans Schwarzkopf. And in today's world, we're using exactly the same formula. So my question is, if we don't change it, our children will be bald, our grandchildren will be bald, and so and so and so.
Right.
We can't keep selling a product based off a formula of 1927. We don't drive the same car, we don't use the same phone, we don't have the same computer, we don't have the same technology.
Right.
Things have changed.
Yeah.
And that is my story. And for me, I am so involved in terms of helping people, because if we lose our hair, if our hair is not healthy, our confidence go down. Our hair is everything what we have. We don't need to be born good looking. We can do so much magic when you have hair, makeup, color, eyebrow shape. I mean, so amazing to give a look to somebody. And on the other hand, we don't need to be rich we should not be rich to just have great hair.
Right.
And
I
that's
agree.
why for me, I'm commercializing a product who has to be accessible to people. It should not be a trophy. It should not be something like a luxurious piece. It should be for everyone.
Right.
More as a necessity. For me, it's about how you feel,
mm-hmm.
and that is the most important. And how
Absolutely.
you feel. And as a hairdresser, I can make you so happy or so depressed. Because if you hate your hair, I'm telling you, you can change people's mood.
Oh, absolutely.
And that is our motto. That is our passion. It's to get those customers, make happy those customers, pamper those customers, and give you a job who's gonna, a technical work who's gonna grow in time.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't wait to see you.
Yes, we are so excited to meet you and let you work your magic on our hair. We can't wait. Thank you so much, Julien, for taking the time out to speak with me today. And we're really looking forward to meeting you and having you do our hair in March. We have an exciting guest on the show today. Cloe Wilder is going to be calling in. She's amazing.
I'm super excited. I listened to a bunch of her stuff on YouTube, her covers.
Yeah.
Her voice is angelic. Let me tell you, relaxing. I love it. I just loved it. And I'm really excited to hear her new single.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? She's 13.
I can't even believe that.
13 years old. When you hear her voice, you're going to think it's some grown woman.
Yeah.
But she's 13 and she's a singer and songwriter, which makes her mega super talented to be a songwriter at 13.
Are you sure she's 13? Because she's
maybe
she's 18.
Maybe she's 14. I don't know, but she's definitely not 18. Unless we'll have to ask her. But yeah, she's I think she's either 13 or 14. I can't believe it. Her voice and that age just doesn't go. You're like, what? But yeah, I do. I love her voice. Now I'm a huge fan. And yeah, I'm excited for this new single and to interview her.
All right, well, let's get Chloe on the phone.
Hi.
So, are you in the studio right now?
I'm not. Well, I'm in my home studio right now in my bedroom, but I'm not doing anything.
Nice. So, prior to the show, we were talking about being in the studio and working on technology and working in the studio alone, and we're kind of on the same page with that. We both have really no clue what we're doing in the studio.
It's so hard.
Yes. See, people don't seem to understand that there's a ton of buttons, a ton of like different things, and it's not easy.
No, I got a whole team of guys that like have to help me with that type of stuff. I just go in and I sing and I write, but they have to do all the stuff with the buttons and the technology because I just get too overwhelmed by that because there's a lot of buttons.
There's a ton of buttons, a ton of knobs, a ton of mics, everything.
Yeah, I don't know what everything means, and I'm afraid I'm gonna break something.
You know, you want to hear something really funny? I thought that I had broken the mixer, and it ended up being that it was just on mute.
Oh my god, I've totally done that before because I bought a new mic and at my house and it like wasn't working, and it turns out I had like mindlessly like pressed mute like on my inputs and stuff on like everything, and so nothing was working. My monitors weren't working, and I guess I'd literally turned them off and just like not thought about turning them back on, and so I was like freaking out for like 3 days in a row. Then I finally got myself together and like sat down and looked at it, and I googled it, and it was like, you probably just turned it off, and I was like, I'm not that stupid. And then I went and I totally just turned it off.
Yeah, that was me. I've done that before plenty of times.
Yeah.
You know, I called my producer. He comes over. He's like, he just hits the button. He's like, really?
Yeah, seriously. I like FaceTimed my producer, and I was like, man, I'm so sorry, because he set it all up for me, and I was like, I'm so sorry, but I totally broke it. And he was like, let me look at it. And so I showed him like all the inputs and stuff, and he was like, well, sweetheart, those are all turned off. And I was like, oh. So yeah, you know, we're getting there.
Yes, we're learning. It's It's a little bit of a learning curve, but we got it.
Yes.
We're learning
here.
There. So, speaking of your producer and making music, you have a brand new single that came out this week, and it was your birthday, I understand.
Yes, it was.
So, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Lots
Thank
of good
you.
things happening this week.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot happening. Yeah, we just had our single release party last night. It was a lot of fun. I think people liked it. Yeah, it was really cool.
Awesome. So, tell me about your new single.
So it's called Crying When I Shouldn't. It just came out. The video premieres today, and it's one of my favorite ones I've done. I worked with a new producer. His name's Eric Scullin, and we wrote that together, and it was mixed and mastered by Rob Kanowski and John Greenham, and it was really just like a great like little team of people that did it. It went so fast. We wrote the song, you know, like just in like an hour. We just like ripped through it, and we knew exactly what we wanted to talk about. And yeah, it was nice because Eric just kind of let me vent, and we just kind of like wrote down what I was feeling. So I was worried that the song was going to make sense to people, but it kind of does, because it's about like being frustrated, you know, with your own emotions. And that's why it's the whole like crying when I shouldn't thing, because I don't really believe that. I think you should always cry. That's like my whole brand, is like being emotional and stuff. But you know, that's kind of how I was feeling at the time. I was like, God, why are you always crying, like, to myself? So I guess that's kind of how I was feeling, and I was like feeling like weak because of it, when really it's not like that. Like, feeling things is hard, and so it's, you know, it's making us stronger, and we all feel these things as human beings, so we should be proud of it and write about it. So,
absolutely.
Yeah,
I think as a woman, you know, you're more emotional. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really excited about like the music I'm creating too. I think it's going to have a good connection to young women, and I'm really excited about it.
Awesome. Well, I cannot wait to see the video. So tell me about the video. Did you come up with the concept?
I did, and this video, it's kind of like a weird hidden concept. You kind of got to look for it, but it was really just it's kind of about like, also the video is more about letting go and like understanding that we are gonna feel these things. And the song is kind of like a progression almost, because it's like at the beginning, one of the lyrics is like, I've been listening to your favorite songs, and then like towards the end it's like, I've been skipping past your favorite song. So it's like, you know, kind of getting past people that you didn't need, that were bad for you. And so the video is kind of about that. Like, it's very like visually appealing, but there's little parts to it that I think have like some hidden stories. Like, there's a bunch of pictures, because I had a series of videos with like a boyfriend in them, and it was cool and it was really fun, and I love filming with people, but I kind of wanted to like have this one be very solitary and feminine and pretty, so I kind of like phased that out, and we put up a bunch of pictures in a room from past videos and past events with the boy who played the boyfriend. His name's Bryce. And so we just kind of like, I like ripped down all the pictures and stuff. It was just very like, it was one of the most empowering ones I've done, because my past videos, the first one I did was like shot in a graveyard, and it was very like dark and brooding, and then the second one we shot at Santa Monica Pier, and it was like romantic, and then the third one there was a car crash. And so like this one was kind of like empowering and just pretty, and I don't want to say bright because it's not bright, but it was definitely more like angelic and nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So are you going on tour anytime soon?
Well, I'm working on an EP, so I'm sure that I'll go on tour for that EP. We don't have any dates set yet or anything, but that's something I would love to do because I love performing. But yeah, so we got an EP that we're working on. I've got like a million upcoming sessions this week, so hopefully we can get an idea of what we're gonna do for the EP. But yeah, so I think after I release that, I'll probably do like a little bit of a, I don't know if like a press tour or whatever it is, but yeah, I would love to tour. So that's definitely something that's gonna be in the cards for 2020.
Great. Well, if you are in New York anytime soon, let us know.
Oh my God, yeah. My A&R lives in New York, so I would love to come out there sometime soon.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun there. I want to do a New York City like studio session. I feel like they've got really sick studios.
You want to do what?
I want to do a New York City studio session because I feel like they've got really cool studios.
Oh yeah, I've seen a few, and they're just gorgeous.
Yeah, I feel like they're so pretty. I mean, the ones out here are so pretty, but I feel like New York City's are probably like so like cool and urban and funky. So I want to go out there.
Extremely, yes.
Yeah.
I've seen a few, and it just, once I'm in there, I just never want to leave, and I don't even do music. Yeah. I love music, but I don't.
Kinds of studios.
Yeah, you just don't want to leave. They're so like cool and comfy, and
yeah, they're honestly like, so if you get in the right one that's like comfortable and, you know, warm. Like I was in this one recently out here, and the room was like all red and like red lights and stuff. I mean, like they have to have a good vibe with them, because I've been in like some gross studios that I just like can't write in. So yeah, we're finding new ones that we like out here, but I'd love to go to one in New York.
Definitely. Well, maybe, you know, your A&R person knows someone that could set it up for you.
Yes, I hope so. I would definitely love to do that.
Yeah, awesome. So we are going to play your new song. Do you want to announce it?
I would love to. Okay. So you're about to listen to my new song, Crying When I Shouldn't, and I hope you love it.
I've been sitting in the corner. I just wanna paint your name onto these walls. I've been waiting on a phone call, so I can't ignore you trying to prove you wrong. I've been listening to your favorite songs, the ones that push me back into your arms. Crying when I shouldn't, but
And that is our show for this week. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you again to Mr. Julien Farel and to Cloe Wilder. We cannot wait to see you, Julien, in April and
get our hair did.
Yes.
Super excited for that. And Julien Farel, we are going to be posting up his products. He has a product line. We have been using it. We absolutely love it. Mm-hmm. And you can find that on his website. We will post the stuff on our website too, so you guys can find it out. But our hair feels so soft after we use it, and it's something that you don't have to use every day, so it's going to last you. Yeah. So check that out for that. And Chloe, thank you so much. Like Shawna said, thank you for coming on the show. We love your voice. We love your new single, and we wish the best of luck to you. And we know you're going to go far in your career. Oh, absolutely. She's going to just take off. Yeah, she is the it thing. She's going to be the it thing. Watch. I guarantee it. Yes, definitely. And follow us on our website, ShawnaandLaLa.com, on Facebook at facebook.com/ShawnaandLaLa. Check me out at facebook.com/TheLalaMarie. And don't forget to follow us on our Instagram page at Shawna and LaLa and our YouTube page at Shawna and LaLa. And we will see you next week.